Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of the Red Devils Corner Kick podcast dedicated to Manchester United. I hope everyone enjoyed their weekend. We did have a match go on earlier today with Man United versus Brentford. But before we continue on with the episode, don't forget to hit subscribe, whether it's on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. And don't forget to follow on Instagram, TikTok, and as well as X or Twitter, depending on how you describe that social media platform. But yes, it is a very late Sunday recording an episode. So if you are listening, it might be an early Monday morning for when this episode comes out. But I hope everyone did enjoy the weekend, especially after the game on Thursday for Manchester United with a big win. Before we go even further, just want to give a shout out to the Manchester United women's squad for their draw today, but which got them to secure top 3, and they're off to Champions League next season, which is great to hear. So that's a big one. Hopefully the men can secure a spot in Champions League for next year. We still have to wait and see on how the rest of Europa goes, but maybe just like last year with FA Cup wins, maybe we get Champions League spots as well. But yes, congratulations to the women's squad on qualifying as well, and they still have an opportunity to get a trophy with the FA Cup final, which is on May the 18th. The Man United men's squad, who was supposed to play Chelsea that same day, that match got moved to the Friday. So if you're in Canada, that's our long weekend. So you can watch a nice little weekend of Premier League, and as well as watching the women's FA Cup final, and also the men's FA Cup final is that Saturday as well. Man United obviously are not in the FA Cup. That's Crystal Palace versus City, but there is that FA Cup that weekend. So the men and women's FA Cup are on the Saturday and the Sunday. All right, let's just go straight into it. Yes. Man United played Brentford. Obviously, I didn't do a preview game with that as well. Wasn't able to. But was I happy with today? Yes and no. I was happy with the youth. I was happy with some things. I wasn't really happy with the refs' play. Listen, Brentford's trying to fight a spot for European football. So their games matter a little bit more in the Premier League than we do. Obviously, we're focusing more on Europa. We have our next leg next Thursday. So we're trying to fight for that. So, yes, today he went with youth. Fredrickson, Cheeto Obi, Hamas starting, which was great to see. The down spot of it is, despite the loss, was losing Mateus Talit, who did start. Listen, he had to start because we're hoping to have him for next week for, rotational, so which is very important. So, like, we definitely do need him. So losing him was definitely a tough one, and I'm really getting, like, I didn't like the comments today, like, why did Amram start him? This isn't like he needed to start. He needed to get minutes. We have an important game, and we need depth. Because like, we're still waiting for Heaven to come back. Collier is still not back. Like, like right now we lost Diego Dallo, and that hurts us as well. So that makes us move Mazraoui up there. Shaw is not fully himself again. So, like, putting pressure on, Delit, put pressure on Maguire, who had to come in and replace him. So we don't know the extent of the injury. They're still doing the assessment, so we'll find out. So it's just a matter of waiting to see how everything goes. And I know Amram said in a press conference, it sounds like more not worry about how it is in the next week, but what's happening for next season. So that's a concern too. So it's tough. But listen, we lost 4-3. It was a good start. I went with my squad yesterday. I think it was Onana who didn't start. It was Binder. Binder was a little shaky. Back three, which I had, which was Shaw, Delit, and Fredrickson. Middle was Dorgu, Ugarte, Mainu, and Hamas. And the front was Garnacho Mount, and I originally had Garnacho and Ahmad there, and then Cheeto Obi started, which he did. Listen, they all got time in. Amos got in. Fredrickson didn't get much time. He was replaced. Listen, there was definitely some defensive hiccups. Again, like going into this match, if I had done my preview, I wouldn't have been concerned with it. I'm not saying we shouldn't be dropping games, but this isn't our full squad. We weren't 100% there. Rasmus wasn't starting. Bruno didn't play. He didn't see a single minute. Neither did Casemiro. For the rotations that came on, Ahmad came on. It was great to see him score. Garnacho had a beauty. Garnacho was pretty well today with an assist and a goal. It was a good cross to Mason Mount. But let's look at this here. Let's just see. We had this squad starting. Luke Shaw is not fully there. That was clear to see. Delit was just coming back. The bright spots were Ugarte played well. Ahmad's goal. Garnacho played very well. He did. He was still a little selfish with the ball, but he made some good passes. I did like Cheeto Obi, how well he did play very well. I wasn't, again, too big fan of the ref, but Ugarte played well. Ahmad definitely doesn't look like he lost a step. Garnacho was there, so those are bright spots. Euro, when he came and played very well. Fredrickson was well. Amos started getting better throughout the game. Luke Shaw looks like he got worse during the game. Binder was a little rocky. So that's a tough one. Eriksson coming in was an improvement. So we saw that there. But listen, overall, I'm not disappointed. I know fans are blowing up and upset with Ruben Amorim. Well, you can't have it both ways. And he came out and said, and I've been looking at the Twitter feeds because it's always fun to read that stuff. But Ruben says, this team isn't prepared to do 2 tournaments. We if we qualify for Champions League, I think he wants to get everything done right. But we do need Champions League for funds. But we need to get things done correctly. To build the system we want. One thing that's driving me nuts is fans want everything to take 2 minutes and then start working off right away. That's basically it when you look at it here. They basically want everything to snap quickly and get to it, but no, that's not how it's working. We're in a difficult situation here, and that's we are. And it hasn't been the best season. That's no rumor there. But I think the nonsense needs to stop. I think Ruben made the best squad possible. I think it looked pretty well at the start with the goal. They were playing well. The error of the goal that gave Brentford the tie was a little difficult one. And then, the injury to the lid, that just started a free fall. And yes, there were some errors there. They definitely targeted the young ones. Ladies and gentlemen, Brentford is a good team. We are struggling. They are not. They're fighting for a spot here. And if I were to pull up the table, we're going to see what has changed. We will. I'm just pulling up the table right now. Brentford winning. So Brentford's not going to get anywhere towards the top 5. But with the way things are going, with Champions League, with Conference League, Europa League. There is an opportunity there for them to get to, a European spot. Remember, we gained 5 spots for Champions League. We gained those 5. So if Arsenal somehow win, that may give up a spot. I believe so. Yeah, that may give up a spot. If United win, they're in. That won't give up a spot, but and if Chelsea win the Conference League, that's theirs as well. Like there's a spot there, but I think the way things are going, the way things are looking, because again, Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest still need to play. That's happening technically today. But yeah, they're trying to get themselves into a spot where they can qualify for Europe, whether it's Europa or the Conference League. Realistically, Newcastle has technically qualified for Conference League because they won the Carling Cup, and right now we're still waiting on Europa. Again, if Chelsea fail to make it, if they win the conference, I believe they go to Europa. If Man United win or if Tottenham win, they go to Champions League. So there's a good chance that we may have some spots there. But yeah, if you look at it here, we have 5 spots for Champions League. So you got those 5 there. 6 and 7 are usually Europa, to say the least. And so I'm just pulling up the table, more of an accurate table. Why? Because I want to make sure what we see here for qualifications. So let's just take a look here. Yeah, Champions League 1 to 5. Europa League is 6th, and then looks like 7th would be Conference League. So we will see how that goes. Yeah, it's just a matter of waiting. So yeah, I'm just trying to make sure we get some accurate charts because they're not showing everything because most of them don't show what's there. Yeah, it's just showing Champions League and then Conference League as well as an opportunity there to gain a spot. So it's just, a waiting game. So we'll see how it all goes. But yes, in the end, Brentford needed to win. Like they needed it. They're trying to get a spot. They're battling out with Bournemouth. There's no way they're catching up with Aston Villa. So they're trying to sit for 8th to hopefully that they get into a spot where they can maybe qualify for Europe with the way things are going. So it's a waiting game. It really is. And the way the top 5 is looking, like Liverpool's already clinched the league. And right now, like second to 7th, can go either way. Arsenal has lost. Man City has gained a win. Castle, I believe, drew. Chelsea won today. And then Nottingham Forest still has a game to go. So if they pull off a win against Crystal Palace, they have an opportunity. Like it's wide open for those final spots. And even if they lose again 2-7, it's anyone's game, and Arsenal need to close out just to secure that spot. They may drop to 6th if possible, because right now Man City is 3 points back. Newcastle is 4 with Chelsea, and then you're looking at Nottingham Forest and Aston Villa at 7 points back. So if they can close, well, actually, if Nottingham Forest wins, they're only 4 points back. So now it's even more of a do or die for Arsenal. Like imagine going from 2nd to a Champions League spot to dropping to 6th, worst 7th. That can be a killer. That's the thing. It can be. it's a little scary if you're looking at this Arsenal squad, who hasn't been playing the best, and they have a semifinal game against PSG. Like next week they have Liverpool. Let's just look at there. Yeah, so Liverpool, Newcastle, Southampton, are the final 3 games. That's the final 3 games right there. And that's scary. Like, Liverpool's already clinched, so you're probably not going to see much, but Newcastle needs a win. Liverpool still may go out a full 100. Like, I know today wasn't the best against Chelsea, but Liverpool can still do some damage. So you're hoping that they clean out there, or even do something, or get draws, or hopefully one win. But you gotta hope that Newcastle falter. You gotta hope that Chelsea falters. You have to hope that Aston Villa doesn't fault, or that does fault, and Man City. Like, Man City's creeping up, ladies and gentlemen, and it's not looking good for Arsenal. It really isn't. Like, realistically, it is not looking good. Why doesn't it look good? Because they're 3 points back. They're 3 points back. So we'll see. Again, it's a matter of the final weeks. But yeah, going back to United, it's I don't know why people are upset the way the game went today. We weren't with our starters. We weren't really at full strength. Brentford was there. They're very good. They are, and we scored those 3 goals, and hopefully for another Fergie time tie and whatever. It's like we there's no way we're going to do what we did to Lyon to Brentford. There's no way we're repeating that. So it was just a matter of just wait and see, and we can't really hope that it goes our way. We can't. Listen, he made the right squad for the game. We needed the rotation. We needed health. Having Onana healthy, having Bruno healthy, having Casemiro healthy is key. Getting Ahmad minutes is key. Losing De Ligt it sucks. It's part of it. It's what happens. It wasn't like it was just it was a tough one. It really was. It was a simple challenge. It ended up going wrong. So it's De Ligt has been reliable up until that ankle injury, which that game he did finish while playing on it. Was out for a couple weeks, came back, and then you have this. It's a different injury. That's the one thing too. It's not like he was repeating the same injury. It was a whole brand new injury, and we may have lost him for the rest of the year, which does suck for rotation. But we do have pieces there. We're going to be heavily reliant on Harry Maguire for that next round. So he's very key. So, like, if you look at our depth, we have some important depth. Like, again, we still have Euro, we still have Lindelof, we still have Maz, Shaw, hopefully Aiden Heaven's back. Fredrickson, I believe, is eligible to play in Europa. We have Harry Amos as well for depth. So we have pieces there. It's just a matter of the rotation. But we'll see. Hopefully they can close it out Thursday within the 90 minutes. I will do a preview, but it's do or die, ladies and gentlemen. It's the season here for over the next couple weeks. So listen, I'm not going to lose it, and I'm not going to do this Amarim out BS that's been going on Twitter and other stuff. Like, listen, and even some fan channels are doing it. Like, fan channels aren't doing the Amarim out, but they are complaining about, listen, the Premier League, if you're like, well, it's still important with what's going on with the Premier League, we're out of the relegation zone. I am not upset if we finish 17th, ladies and gentlemen. And everyone's like, well, this is the worst we've ever been. Yes, the worst we've ever been in the Premier League. It's not the worst that we've ever had in our history of the football game. Like, ladies and gentlemen, we have been relegated. Like, we have been there. We've been down that road where we had to get ourselves promoted back to league, like to the first division. And I don't think many people understand that. Listen, and it's going to take time. I know Ruben says at Manchester United, you don't get much time, but we need the time. We need the years. We need something to build up and get the system. And you know what? Someone's going to hate me when I say it. Like, I am okay if we lost Europa and just focused on the Premier League. I am. I'm willing to admit that. If we didn't win Europa, didn't get Champions League, I'd be okay with missing, because again, he has a chance to build it. Give us time to get there. Like, let it build the system. Because again, he's going to need to get players in. He's going to need to get the players that he has now get into the system. Need those weeks, the preseason, development. Like, you need the time. You know, get everything healthy, build up the depth, go for free transfers, ladies and gentlemen. To the owners, if you do listen to this podcast, if you're one of the 5 people that listen to it, get us free transfers. Get those players that are on freeze that are not going to cost anything. Build up the players that would fit his system. Get them to start working, because again, if you have time during the weeks, you have time to educate and build a system. Listen, I'm still seeing improvement with the club, but imagine what he does with the full preseason. Imagine what he does with a week in between games, getting players healthy, getting a system right. I think it's important to try and get this here. Like, don't get me wrong, another trophy for Manchester United is phenomenal, but it's getting everything right to build a culture is, I think, more important than right now. So it's going to be a struggle. He even said this before, and I don't think people were able to comprehend it. I'm okay with it. I understand that there's darkness before the dawn. I understand that Sir Alex went through some stuff. So it's just a matter of just wait and see on how this goes. And are you willing to be patient and wait and see? I know everyone's like, well, it's been like this for the last 10 years. You're going to have to wait longer, ladies and gentlemen, and that's what's tough. So let's stop with the nonsense. Let's just be faithful with this club and the decisions. And again, we'll see how the next couple of weeks go. I would love another trophy, but I would love to get everything right as well. So I'll leave it there with the episode. So I hope you enjoy this little short episode of the podcast. Don't forget to hit subscribe on whether YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, as well as following us on Instagram, TikTok, and X/Twitter as well. But yeah, I'll be back next week, or probably Wednesday-ish. It'll be a late Wednesday episode out. So make sure you keep an eye on that episode preview against Athletic Club. We'll get that all going. Try to predict what the squad is going to be, what the tactics will hopefully be, what the importance of this game, and closing out the mentality of it, because that is the one thing too. The mentality of it. So we'll see. That's what it is. So, like, again, let's stop the nonsense of what happened with today's game. Amram is in. He needs time. The players, the squad, we weren't at 100%. Again, Brentford needed this win as much as we do. And with rotation and health, that's the important part. So yes, I was quite happy with the youth. I know I just ended the episode and I'm going over a repeat again. I was happy with the youth. I didn't mention my 3 players. I'm going to go with Ugarte, Garnacho, and I'm going to say Ahmad. Those are my 3 for today for my selection of the games. Yes, it's a loss, but those were the standouts from what I saw. So yes, follow Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and on social media platforms. But yes, I'll be back Wednesday with a preview for Athletic Club, catch up on any free transfers, Amram news as well. So keep an eye on that as well. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your night. It is technically an early Monday morning now. as I recorded this. So again, enjoy your week. We'll talk to you guys later on with a new episode. So, and yes, big semifinal, second leg. Let's go. But yes, have a great day. Enjoy your week. This is the Red Devils Corner Kick podcast. Glory, glory, Man United.